In this video, I'll show you how you can set your camera up so that you can take some fantastic images of light trails, which incidentally works for fireworks in exactly the same way. Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. Right, let's talk about the equipment first of all. It's a really easy thing to do, as you'll see in a second. So the equipment, we're just going to keep to a bare minimum. We need a sturdy tripod and just a decent camera. That's it. No filters, nothing. Just a sturdy old tripod and a good camera. Right now I am that person stood on top of a motorway bridge. You know, sometimes you see them with a camera and a tripod and you wonder what on earth they're doing. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I come to a favourite spot of mine for light trails. I've actually created a video from here. God, quite some time ago now. But it's a brilliant place to take pictures of car trails. It's because the composition here is just stunning. So, I'm here about an hour before it's due to get dark, and the idea is I'm literally going to get set up, which will take no more than 2 minutes, I promise you. I'm going to look for a composition, and then I'm just going to leave everything as is, take time out, sit in the van, have a cup of coffee, and wait till it gets dark. With regards to setup, it's really easy. If you can hear me over this motorway noise, I'll try and bring you along in camera so you can see the sort of composition that I'm looking for. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's do that first of all. Let's throw you guys into the camera, and then I'll show you what sort of composition or compositions that I'm going to be looking for. Right, that's with the 70 to 200mm lens on there. What I'm looking for is this fantastic S-bend beneath our feet, taking the viewer's eye all the way up to the power station in the background. What I don't like is the building on the right hand side. If I move the camera ever so slightly to the right hand side, you see that the building is there that I'm not keen on. When the light starts to drop, I'm not sure how well the side of that building will be lit because it's like a delivery depot or something, but the chances are it'll be a silhouette in the image anyway, so it won't really play that much a part of the picture. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for something like that. Composition number 2, I'm going to throw my camera into portrait orientation, and I'm going to look at something like that. Get my camera nice and level, drop it down like that. So I want to try and I want to try and keep as much of the motorway in as possible because that's where the light trails are going to be. And I think that there works a treat. And you see, in portrait orientation as well, we're missing that building out that I don't like on the right hand side. That's it. So that's my composition taken care of. Now let's talk about settings. Well, I don't know if you've ever taken any pictures of light trails before. I don't know if you found yourself stood on top of a motorway bridge like I currently am at the moment, but you'd be very surprised if you've never done it before how easy it is. And let me just explain my setup. ISO 100, remember the idea is we need a long shutter speed. So let's start planning for a long shutter speed now. The best we can anyway, obviously in this light. But of course our settings will change as the light starts to drop. But as a ballpark figure, ISO 100, aperture at f11. And then all we're going to do is slow the shutter speed down until our histogram is looking good. That's it. So at the moment, ISO 100 f11 and a fifth of a second. Honestly, it's that simple. The only thing that's now going to change is as the light starts to drop, we'll then compensate by the lack of light hitting the sensor by slowing our shutter speed down, which is perfect. And I'm hoping to gain something like a 30-second or maybe even a minute exposure. And I'm pretty sure that we can attain that at f11 and ISO 100. But depending on how dark it is, of course, we might need to tweak those settings ever so slightly. But yeah, really simple. I'm going to focus a third of the way into the frame, and then just for ease, I'm going to switch my focus onto manual. That way it'll just stop the camera hunting for focus every time I press the button. And one last thing, 2-second delay timer. That's the camera all set up. So all I now need to do is just quite literally sit back and wait until it gets dark. Easy this, isn't it? How easy is this? So let's see where we are at. Pitch black, perfect. Okay, ISO 100, slow my shutter speed down. Now we're looking at 10 seconds. Well, I want longer than that. Let's go straight to 30 seconds. So I want to shoot this at 30 seconds. Now clearly that's too bright. So what I can do to counteract that is reduce my ISO by 1 stop. I'm lucky my camera will allow me to go down to ISO 50, and also I can make the hole much smaller. So I can go from f11 right down to f16. I'm happy at f16, and that looks pretty nice. I've got a little bit of color in the sky as well. It's a shame that the power station in the background isn't used anymore, so we're not going to get any smoke billowing or steam billowing from the towers there, which is a real shame. And now all I need to do is wait for some traffic. That's a 30-second exposure. The light will drop more, and as the light drops, it just means I'll extend my shutter speed even more. So even though there's not many cars on the road at 11:15 at night, by elongating that shutter speed to a minute or 2 minutes, there'll definitely be traffic. And I must admit, I've got the conditions perfect tonight. There's no wind, there's nothing. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, already that's great. The first annoying thing is that building on the right hand side is lit up, and that's quite annoying. I don't like that. But again, that's something I can fix in Photoshop. And also, there's a bridge stanchion down here on the right hand side that I'm picking up. I don't like that either, so I might just crop in just a little bit more to avoid that bridge stanchion, or I could leave it as is and fix it in Photoshop in post-production. Isn't that just typical? Look how gorgeous that sky is behind me on a night when I decided to shoot cars from a motorway bridge. And we got a sky like that in the background. Isn't that just typical? Oh, it's just typical, so typical. So let's just recap. ISO is currently on 50. My aperture is currently on f14, and that's offering me a 30-second exposure. I want to shoot this at a minute exposure, so let's go straight to bulb mode. Activate my bulb timer at 1 minute. Because the light's starting to drop a bit now. That's looking nice. Composition is looking nice. A few cars coming. I have to have a bit of patience. Again, if you did this in the winter time and you were here at 4 o'clock in the evening, you can imagine just how busy the M62 would be right now. It would be pretty packed, to say the least. So, light trails in the winter, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock at night, During the busy traffic, different ball game. But honestly, really, the good thing about this style of photography, you don't need many cars to make this work, especially now that we're shooting at a minute exposure. And interestingly so as well, when you get emergency services that fly down, because you've got a blue light that's whizzing around, remember really what we're doing is exposing for the lights, then you'll just end up with a flickering light, a dotted light as a trail, and that's quite interesting as well. Oh, we got a breakdown vehicle with yellow lights flashing, that's coming by, so that'll possibly have the same effect. Yeah, there's the lights. There's the lights. That is really, really cool. Look at that. I photographed the light trails as the light got darker and darker. I photographed the light trails through the blue hour, and now we're out the other side and we're into night proper. And the longer I leave it, the darker the sky gets, the more dramatic the image is beginning to look. And well, it's just after midnight. I'm training first thing in the morning as well, but it's just after midnight, and I'm going to push it maybe for another hour. I want it to get darker and darker. But look, here's a couple of ideas for you just to spice things up ever so slightly. At the moment, I'm shooting at something like 4 minutes, a 4-minute exposure. And the reason why is because I've closed the aperture right up. So one of the options that you could do is if you close the aperture right up, then you'll end up with the starburst from all the lights, the street lights and the lights in the background, the lights on the mast, etc. You'll get that gorgeous starburst, and that's the reason why I've closed the aperture right up. But of course, closing the aperture up means that, you know, it's a very small hole for the light to travel through, hence the reason I'm now having to shoot these images at a 4-minute exposure. But of course, that's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. Another option is to shorten the duration of the shutter speed. If you shorten that duration right down, especially this time of the night when there's not that much traffic on the road, then you can get more of a minimalistic feel. Instead of lots of light trails, you'll only get a few, so that's another option. We could swap skies around, so if you prefer the sky from earlier, then you can swap the sky with the sky that you've got now. And of course, on a clear night, when it's really, really dark, especially when it's a new moon or there's not much light pollution in the sky, obviously there's light pollution on the floor, but we could take an exposure for the sky separately and introduce stars into our image. So then we'd have the lovely light trails on the motorway with a nice starry sky to complement the picture, shall we say. So these are all options. Don't just turn up and take a couple of pictures, jump in the car and drive home again. There are other options that's open to us. I mean, hopefully I'm coming across as in I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I mean, I really am. Sorry about the lighting, by the way. The old Blair Witch thing again. But look, I mean, a 4-minute exposure is just finished on here. Just so you know. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? Let me just zoom in so you guys can see it. I mean, just look how gorgeous that is. That's really so cool. If I could zoom in there just a bit more. So that's the starburst that we're talking about. That's a natural starburst that a small aperture will offer us. Now I know on the right hand side we've got this building here. I can just fix that in Photoshop. Oh, that's not very clever. But look at all that there. Just terrific. And I don't mind that blurry sky as well. Really, really nice. And don't forget, as far as setting your camera up is concerned, what we've done tonight is applicable to wire wool photography and also to fireworks. And that's it. Grab your camera, get out there, make sure you stay safe, that's all. Obviously I'm here now at 1:45 in the morning and I'm on my own, and that's not really a good thing. But I suppose I'm a big lump, so it's not too bad. But just play safe, if you understand what I mean. Right, so thank you very much indeed. Before I show you these pictures, do me a favor, help support the channel, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you want to find your way back, then hit that subscription button and that notification bell as well. Right guys, tell me what you think of these pictures in the comments below.